what from your perspective, do you remember what happened?
I just tucked the front. So you would never in a million years think you're going to crash there. And I was doing 230, 228k an hour or something ridiculous. But like as soon as I crashed that bike, I was like,
Fuck.
I'm going to die.
Jet, when he rides, his posture never changes.
The other thing is too, because he's the man at the moment, it's like, okay, we need to have straight back. It's like I'm not saying he does have a really good style, and maybe that is the way he should ride a bike, but 10 years ago there have been things that Carmichael done, and before that, and before and after that, we would have thought, oh, that's how you got to do that.
I met a Gypsy
fan, and Supermoto was all the old guys were coming back to race it. So I'm like
Wardy and
McGrath, Henry,
yeah.
Chad Reed to go to X Games. Like I'm just going to the track, and all these heroes are rocking up, and then I'd go to the motocross track, and they'd be there. It was just unreal. Best time of my life, really.
Yeah.
And I only stumbled across it. Like I rode flat track, and I was like, when I was 16, I think at the time I was like the trading post. You wouldn't be online looking for bikes. I'd be getting the trading post and saying, Dad, there's a 250 production bike, road bike, let's get that and go road racing. And we're like, we can't afford that. And then it was like Supermoto started gaining a bit of momentum, and I think the World Championship was coming to Australia, but I was still too young.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, I'll go and have a go. So he went down to the Victorian titles, which was a qualifying event, and he qualified to do a wild card in the World Championship, which he never done. But so he bought this bike, and he's like, okay, when you turn senior, we'll do Supermoto, because that means you can learn road racing on a cheaper sort of platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just one thing led to another. At the time, they were doing like once a year. They'd done this Sydney Tennis Centre had like an event like around Olympic Park, and all the Australian motocrossers and road racers had come and do it. So I got to race against some bigger names, and I was probably the only non sort of pro rider, like bigger name that had a reasonable amount of speed. And yeah, just one thing led to another, and I think I was riding Husqvarna, and no one wanted to ride the Husky, and a guy crashed in America before the first round, and they said, if you buy a ticket over, we'll give you a bike to ride. And I got second in the race, and they had to bring me back. And I remember when I got there, I was like, I think I was making like $400 a week working for Dad, and I got this phone call to go ride the first round of the AMA Supermoto Championship. And like, it was a big deal for me, because I was just a dirt track kid. Like, it wasn't like I was riding pro motocross or something, and on that stage, like a big dirt track event, it wasn't televised or anything. And I'm there, and Doug Henry's there, and Wardy, and yeah, it rained, and I got second in the race. And I remember when I got there, they like, you sign up for the contingency plans. So Husqvarna, I'm using Dunlop tyres, got goggles, whatever. I think I made like $6,000 for getting second off for the weekend. Anyway,
just off contingency.
This is anyone can get it. So like at the time, making $400 a week. So I get back, and they're like, we want you to come back because you're obviously second in the championship. The next one was a double header round at Copper Mountain. I'm riding two classes. I think I remember that night I was like, I was probably legless drunk with my team manager and manager at the time, Paul Feeney, and my best mate had started his apprenticeship, and I'm pretty sure he was making like $20,000 a year or something, and I was just anyone there. I wasn't on a team. I just signed these bits of paper, and I made $20,000 US on the one weekend. I was like, holy crap, I'm going to be able to make such good money out of this sport.
Yeah.
So I got home, and Dad's like, I think I was more of a hindrance at work. He just gave me a job. So he's like, as long as you're putting in and training and riding, you've got money in the bank, you just do that. And if you needed some work, come and work with me, and hopefully you get a ride out of it. Yeah. So that first year, I was like, that was 2005. I ended up making probably $80,000 or $60,000 in just contingency. I went to America 4 or 5 times. I'm like, holy crap, I'm gonna be a pro motorbike rider here. Like I'm gonna live on hedges when I'm older. Yeah. And then pretty much like from 08, 09 when the GFC hit, it just went. I'm like, I went from thinking Supermoto was going to take me to a lifelong career. I'm like, holy crap, this sport's going to die now. Like
it's crazy.
It just
how
fell
quick
over.
It went. Like,
Yeah.
there was a point of time where, X Games, you'd have, like, McGrath. It was, like, fully televised. You'd have, Chad was racing. Travis was in on it. Like, so many dudes were in on it.
Yeah.
And then it just went.
Yeah. Yeah, I only got to do X Games a couple of times, but, yeah, it was like all the big names were there. And then they had the Moto X World Championship, where it was just a motocross only or motorbike only X Games. And, yeah, you get all these big names. It was good fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to be a part of.
There's a dude, I think it's Josh McLean.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
He's still going over and
he's over there right now,
and
killing
he's going
it.
really well.
Yeah, but he's like, there's just zero money. Like, he can barely afford to even actually go and do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he was, in your era, he would have been killing it. You know?
Exactly, yeah. It's all luck of the draw, really, isn't it?
Yeah, just timing and like the way it worked out. So when was the first time you ever rode raced a road bike then? 21?
Well, yeah, so 08, what was I? 08, 21, yeah. I actually planned to stop. I was going to, whether I won the championship in 08 in the Supermoto bike.
What was the bonuses and shit for that? Was it decent?
Yeah, I think I made, for the year, I reckon I made 120 US, I think.
Which was good back then too.
Yeah.
Oh wait, nah.
The dollar
was
like
basically the same.
It was basically the same, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the sport wasn't that big. Like, so I was making a good living and better than I was making in Australia the next 5 years.
Yeah.
riding road bikes. But then again, I didn't have any reason to get paid either. I was just super lucky. So what had happened was I had decided in 08, that's it. I'm going to go road racing because I wanted to be a road racer.
Forever?
Not forever, but from when I was sort of 15, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, obviously Casey was going road racing. So I was around, Casey's a year or a year and a half older than me.
Yeah.
So I'd often be in the same race as him. Never really racing him, but yeah, often.
In
like
dirt track.
We were a similar age group. So I'd be coming in an age group, he'd be going out. And then.
Was he just a freak at dirt track?
Like crazy.
Yeah, because that's what, like, he will brag more about dirt track than MotoGP. Like, he would say, he's like, all right, I was good at MotoGP, but I was fucking good at dirt track.
Yeah.
Like, he was
literally, it was like he was, like, so he was obviously more skillful than pretty much every kid, or was. But from, like, I didn't know him that well. We'd obviously say hello, and, like, he was a pretty quiet kid, but always super respectful. But from what I knew of him and seen of him, it was like he just had an adult's head on his shoulders.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, kids make mistakes. Like, there's you race your dirt bike all weekend, and there's 3-4 lap finals. They take like 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure on a kid. He just got a start, or he didn't get a start. He'd make his way to the front. He just rarely made little kids' mistakes. I think one weekend he won like 5 Australian titles in one weekend, rode all these different classes. And you know what? His bikes were always the most beaten up looking bikes. They were always pretty fast, but like never had like really new looking stuff. But yeah, it was just like he had an adult head on his shoulders.
Wonder what it was with him, like if it was just the feeling that he had, like it just so... Could you even hear the way he talks about MotoGP, like you're saying with that, you know, the turn at Lukey Heights or like turn 3, like the shit that he's feeling on a bike is great, like next level, just to have like that level of, I don't know whether it's like he instinct. Can pay attention so much.
Yeah.
Like he's riding around the track and he's going full speed and going at that maximum level, but he's still able to like listen or, you know what I mean? Like I think feel some people,
something. I reckon it's like Jet Lawrence looks right now. Like some people are just, one, they're super comfy with speed and their reflexes are good, but they're just a few corners or a few tenths ahead of our brain.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.